Hi guys, so today I wanted to share with you one of the most powerful tools I have in my own teacher toolbox for managing a classroom of young learners without using clips and chart systems for their behavior. One of the things that was a struggle for me was I continued to think going through school and going through college to become a teacher, man, there has to be a better way, as Dr. Becky Bailey's book title suggests. It was hard to find that though, looking around and looking at the things you experienced as a student or a child and looking around at other teachers. It didn't seem to have a lot of options available for me to meet the needs that I thought my students had. Until I sat in one of Dr. Kersey's classes. She was out of Ultimate University in Norfolk, Virginia, and you can still find a lot of her resources on the ODU.edu website by searching Kersey and 101s. These are just right here a snippet of the 101 positive principles of discipline. And what she did was with her students and faculty, she developed 101 practical applications for the theory of positive discipline. And like I've stated in other videos, I'm a theory person, love theory. So we'll definitely look at where that developed and what that means. But these are practical applications. These are things that teachers, parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, volunteers can utilize with young children. What's great about these is it's not necessarily a management tool as much as it is a relationship tool. This will really help you connect to your students, and you'll notice that theme throughout my videos, that everything that we're doing really should lead to a sense of connectedness. It should build that relationship. What I also like about these 101s is that it's really important when you're dealing with young children to be authentic. We've all heard, that they're kind of like sharks, they smell blood, they know when you're not being authentic, they know when you're faking it, right? We've all heard those old adages. What that really means is kids know if you're not trying to build that relationship. Kids know if you're in it for the wrong reasons. These give you a bunch of different tools that you can find that fits your personality as well as the needs of the students. For example, there are things in here that I used with 3-year-olds, easy peasy, they loved it. They love going to Bunny Planet. That's one of the fun 101s in here. I'm not necessarily going to do that with my kinders. So you really need to find what works best for you and what works best for your students. Year over year, you might change some of the techniques you use most frequently. And if you've been in the early childhood field for any length of time, you'll also notice that some of these you already do. What I like though is when you find a practice and a theory that reinforces things you've already done, it tends to make you do it better because you become more intentional about that practice. And for me, intentionality is important. That means that I'm going to do things more consistently. And that consistency with young children really helps them to feel safe and to grow and to learn and to become better. That also helps me as an educator to become better as well. I challenge you guys before I post our next couple ones on the 101s. I want you to look them up and I want you to find a couple. See which ones you already use. See if there's any new ones you can easily implement yourself just by reading the descriptions. I will go ahead and do a few videos on my very favorite 101. Some of them will be from the top 10, some of them further down, and we'll look at what that would look like in your preschool or early childhood setting. And I want to hear feedback from you guys. How do you guys implement these if you already do implement them? What have been some challenges as you've tried to implement them? One fun fact is Dr. Kersey used to always challenge her students to implement these with their spouses or their family members, and we had to write back in some of our journaling about how that went. And so I actually did use these with my husband quite frequently when I was in college, and we still use them back and forth together today. One of the best things with that is it doesn't cause manipulation. It doesn't cause us to undermine or be fake with one another. It creates authentic relationships more so than anything else. And so I actually brought him to hear Dr. Kersey speak at a parent talk, and about halfway through he starts looking at me, and he's looking at Dr. Kersey. He's looking at me and he says, "You do this to me." I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "You use those techniques. I recognize the if, then, when, then statements that you use with me. I notice the follow through and that consistency piece that she mentioned. And I notice those choice principles that you use with me." I said, "Yeah, but do you think it's helped or hurt our relationship?" And he said, "It's definitely helped." And if you know me and my husband in real life, instead of just on the videos, you'll know we do have a very strong marriage. And I think one of those important factors to that is I learned these very early on in our marriage. I challenge you then also to use these to build up relationships within your own family, within your own bank of relationships as an adult as well. And I hope that you find that it is a relationship building tool and not just a management tool. You manage young children's behavior by building that safety and security through relationships. And so we'll look at a bunch of the 101s. We'll look at my favorite ones. If you have any in particular you would like to see modeled or explained in depth, feel free to message me. Again, you can find me on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel to see all of our newest videos, or message me in the comments down below. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can email me also at immersedlearning@gmail.com. Immersed Learning is our handle for all the platforms as well. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you and have a great day.